o'clock hour. Linda Stevens is here. Coming up after our segment with Linda, we'll be checking in with
somebody.
Well, I saw a text. Somebody's bugging me to do something that I don't know anything about, and I haven't talked to my people yet, and I appreciate the effort, but let me go through channels. Anyway, after we do our joke fest with Aaron, we are going to finish the show today with the opening statements by Vice President Mike Pence, who was here in Artesia yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. And here's proof. Right there. There he is with the mayor.
Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
That was yesterday.
Huh.
So he gave...
I did not know that.
Yeah, he had... Well, it wasn't like a public thing.
Oh.
He is... his think tank is called Advancing American Freedom. And he was meeting with oil executives, energy executives, electrical providers, renewables folks, and gathering all kinds of input so that his Advancing American Freedom people can put some policy suggestions together for anybody that might listen to them in Washington, D.C.
That's great.
So there was a bunch of folks from around the area that were there, and they invited the media to be there only to listen to him.
Right.
And then as soon as he finished speaking and it was time for them to sit down and have their open, frank discussion, they kicked out the media.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had to leave. So we have his opening remarks. So we have the introduction from the mayor and his opening remarks, and so we're going to play that here at the end of the hour.
So was that a good idea not to have media there? Or not?
Well, you can't trust the media. So yes, I think it was a wonderful idea. Yeah, you can't trust the media.
You said that, not me.
No, I'm in the media, and you
know.
can't trust the media. I'm telling you.
I know,
you can't
because
trust
they
them.
will... The commercials that I watch, unfortunately, through programming on prime time,
Yeah.
if I was sitting there watching some of them, dissecting it, if anybody out there believes what any politician actually said, those little excerpt blurbs were probably taken out of context.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what was said prior to that, and you don't know what was said after that. And the middle, right now either probably sounds horrible or really good. But you don't know how it was originally presented.
Yeah. So how can you have a frank, open discussion on what really needs to be done?
Well, everybody needs to do their homework. You could probably go back somewhere and get a audio, a copy, or whatever, of the entire speech or the entire segment of what whomever you're watching said.
Yeah.
And be educated yourself. Don't just go by what little crap that you hear on commercials.
I know.
But how many people will take the time to do that?
It's kind of crazy to do that. Linda Stevens is here from Artesia Clean and Wonderful, and and you, I think, found out who won the Golden Tiger.
Well, I'd called Tracy Hughes, and she said she wouldn't tell me. So she said, wait. She said, give me your email address, because we wrote all this up. Her and Eamon spent hours dissecting, and I said, can't you just tell me? She said, no, because we listed other things that I want you to say.
Okay.
I just now,
all right, so
what,
drum
5
roll,
minutes ago?
Drum roll, please.
No, I'm going to read this email.
Yeah, that's right. This is from the National
Public
Lands Cleanup Week.
Yes, but
in Eddy County, and you have we have the
BLM.
We have the groups, and we have the individuals, and we have Carlsbad getting points, and Artesia getting points, and the Golden Tire Award, and the individual award, and you had all the awards made by the kids, and all that.
If you were in Eddy County, you were eligible to do a cleanup. And Eddy County is a big area.
That's right. So here is the official statement.
After a grueling 8 days of trash cleanups throughout the county, and over 200 volunteers gave it their all, we are proud to announce the winners of Better Together Eddy County Cleanup Competition. Carlsbad has won the coveted Golden Tire Award. Artesia surged during the final stretch with impressive cleanups on Car Ranch Road by ConocoPhillips and Mill Road by EOG Energy, but the push wasn't enough to catch the lead. LM Energy and CEHMM helped established for Carlsbad. Category winners. Municipality was Carlsbad. Group, the most people at a single event was EOG. Most trash at a single event, ConocoPhillips. Most trash over the whole week was a tie at LM Energy and CEHMM. Most trash in a single day was Becca Cannon. So there you've got it, hot off the press, people.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Yes.
And I guess we will accept their interpretation of the data that shows that Carlsbad
Listen,
won.
I wouldn't have wanted to figure out all of this. You know, Keep America Beautiful has a formula for trash, and they go by, if you have a big bag, it's 20 pounds.
Right.
Now, are all your bags 20 pounds? Heavens no. You may have one that's full of plastic bags, Walmart bags, paper, whatever.
Yeah.
And the next one may be full of bottles and cans that you can't lift.
Yeah.
So averaged out, that's, I think, how Keep America Beautiful determines a weight. Because somehow you've got to.
Right.
You know.
No,
because,
I understand.
Yeah, you just have to because, you know, water bottles weigh nothing, styrofoam cups weigh nothing, and you may have a 60-gallon bag full of them.
Yeah.
And the next one's got 15 or enough beer bottles that somebody left out there that's ridiculously heavy because it's
Yeah.
glass.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
So, yeah, they had to come up with a formula. As for what formula that Eamon and Tracy went through, I have no idea. But, you know, if you didn't send your pictures, that's on you.
Well, that's what you were telling me off air. That's what you're telling me off air is that one of the things they were trying to do is to make sure that everybody that did do a cleanup got their information submitted so it could be tabulated in the final results.
Right. Yes, because they knew of groups that had been out there. And I think it was Friday, I got an email and it says, if you have not submitted your information, please, we know that so did a cleanup, please submit.
Yeah.
Because we need to know how many there were. We need to know what you picked up. We need the pictures. So,
That's
and
right.
the update on the website, oh, Eamon did a fabulous job because the pictures of all of the people that were out there cleaning and tossing stuff into the roll-offs or whatever,
Yeah.
it's just great.
Awesome.
And, you know, everybody looks happy and with their bags and grabbers. So, you know, misery loves company. Picking up trash is not necessarily fun. But when you've got a group, you're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you're all coming together for a good cause. And sometimes, you know, you're close enough to somebody to carry on a conversation. You know, if the wind's not blowing the right direction or something, you can hear and you know, everybody can complain about the condition where you're at.
Right,
And
right.
let me tell you, there was a lot of complaining at the, quote, shooting range out at Car Ranch Road.
Complaining about what?
Oh, the ones that were cleaning up were complaining about that condition.
Oh, gotcha.
Why
gotcha.
people
Okay.
thought that, oh, this is a good idea. Let's go out here and dump all this stuff. No, people. Yes, it may not be able to be seen from Highway 285. Of course not. You can't even see it from 82. That's not the point. This is our Earth.
Yeah.
This is the environment. And why would anybody think it's a good idea to dump all that garbage out there when you can take it to the transfer station?
That's right. That's right.
You won't get charged. You could tell it wasn't commercial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse
Individuals
for that.
just being lazy and dumping, but not taking that time to go
Yes.
that extra couple of miles or whatever it
Yes.
is to the nearest.
They had a picture of somewhere over Carlsbad area out in there where it was old pipe caps or whatever they're called. I don't know. They were colorful caps to put over pipes.
Okay.
Oh, my God. You could have probably filled a couple of pickups.
Yeah.
Now, why somebody decided this is a good place to dump all of these?
I don't know.
Now, come on. If you were a rig and you let somebody do that, whoever that rig was should be mandated to clean it up, plus
Yeah.
be fined for doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that. People need to be responsible for their crews and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's it's bad enough with just lazy individuals, and then if it gets compounded with
But how much work do you have to go through to go down up the road and then down a dirt road where it's a glorified cow trail to dump your refrigerator or your chest type freezer or the 15 tires that I picked up? Really?
Yeah.
You could have
Well,
taken them to the
well, it
transfer
depends
station.
on how many bodies are in them.
Well, the ones I picked up, there weren't even any good bones. What we found out there was an old cow carcass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the hide was worthless because it was all deteriorated and
Yeah.
almost turned to concrete. So
Yeah.
it had been there a while. Yes.
No, I don't understand, folks, and they do that, and so having the cleanups is important.
Yes, it is. And trust me, just because this one took place, that does not mean you can't get a group together and go do a cleanup. You're not doing it for glory. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do and it needs to be done.
Right.
And if people would quit throwing the stuff out.
Yeah.
EOG cleaned Mill Road and out around Tractor Supply.
Right.
1,100 pounds. That is ridiculous, people. There should not be that kind of garbage
Right.
in the bar ditch.
No, there shouldn't be. I saw an article that you might get a kick out of, and I'm trying to remember if I think I texted it to Lana, because this all kind of goes in keeping with everything else that is happening in the world. We're being pushed to do electrics and save the earth and save the planet, and half the stuff we're doing, or most of the stuff we're doing to supposedly save the planet, is actually worse for the planet
Oh, definitely.
than saving the
Yeah,
planet.
wait till they figure that one out.
So they had a hurricane down in Florida. I don't know if you saw that in the news.
You think? Devastated the place.
It's terrible, and
Yes.
they're still rescuing some folks, and they're still doing
yeah.
cleanup. And here's an amazing story. I saw this. There was a couple of barrier islands that the bridges were destroyed by the hurricane, and in like a week, they've restored the bridge to one of the barrier islands, and the other one they should have the temporary bridge up by the end of the month.
Wow.
In Pennsylvania, there was a bridge that was taken out by flooding, like back in January. President went up there and, we're going to get this fixed. We're going to get this taken care of. It's still not fixed.
Oh, good grief.
It's still not fixed. And it's October. And the president went there and everything and said it was fixed. In Florida, 2 barrier islands, they had the bridges wiped out. One's already been restored and the other one by the end of the month. That ought to tell you something right there. Here's a story for you.
Yes.
A top Florida state official warned Thursday that firefighters have battled a number of fires caused by electric vehicle batteries waterlogged from the hurricane.
Oh, wow.
EV batteries that have been waterlogged in the wake of the hurricane are at risk of corrosion, which could lead to unexpected fires. There's a ton of EVs disabled from Eon. This is the fire spokesperson. As those batteries corrode, fires start. That's a new challenge that our firefighters haven't faced before, at least on this kind of scale.
Yeah, and isn't that the ones they're almost impossible to put out?
Correct. Now, any vehicle that's flooded is subject to corrosion and damage. You never want to buy a flooded
Right.
car. If you
Yeah.
have a flooded car, you're probably looking at, a write-off and having to get another car. But most of the time in those cases, you're not worried about the car spontaneously combusting and
Exactly.
blowing up.
Yeah.
In the case of the EVs, they get waterlogged, and the water gets into those battery packs and starts a catastrophic failure of the battery packs. And the next thing you know, EVs spontaneously explode, and now firefighters, amongst all the other things they're having to deal with, rescuing ladies in wheelchairs that are stuck in flooded apartments, people that are stranded on barrier islands, all these other things, getting the power restored, getting all this other stuff restored. Now they've got to worry about exploding EVs because their battery packs have been soaked by the waters from Ian. So that's the future that we are told that we need to be doing and heading towards. So just throw that on top of your list.
I was looking for the proper wording. I had a picture. I guess I deleted it. It was something about electric cars are out there to solve a problem that does not exist.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did just fine. And I also heard from a friend that lives in California where it was going to cost, I think it was $10 to charge your vehicle. Because if y'all haven't figured out, there are taxes that you pay in your gasoline. Gasoline doesn't cost what you're paying at the pump.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of road tax that's involved in there.
That's exactly
which
right.
goes supposedly to highway repair.
That's right.
Okay, you're not pumping gas. You're not paying road tax. Somewhere along the line, when you're charging your electric vehicle, they're going to figure out,
Oh, yeah,
honey,
they are.
that you've got to have taxes in this mess.
That's right.
So, but now the price is going to go up to $30 to charge your electric vehicle. Well, for the mileage you get in an electric vehicle, for the $30 that it's costing you to charge it, you ain't saving a dime.
That's
as
right.
opposed to buying gasoline.
That's right. But you're saving the earth.
No, not when it's going to combust. Because if you put people and weight in your vehicle, or you're not going very far either.
Yeah.
Because that uses up your charge in your battery.
Right. Well, the electric vehicle technology, granted, is at a very early stage of development. And I'm sure when they design these vehicles, they design them if you drive through rain, if you drive through puddles, if you drive through stuff like that. But how many of them sat down, how many of those engineers said the battery pack, as far as moisture is concerned, is protected up to this point, but from this point on, no guarantee.
Yeah.
Meaning flooded, in a flood, in a hurricane, something like that. And did anybody put out a notice from these manufacturers? I don't care who it is, Tesla, Ford, GM,
Right.
Anybody. Did they put out any kind of notification to the firefighters to say, oh, by the way, if you start encountering flooded electric vehicles, get your electric vehicle fire kits ready to go because you may have to be dealing with some of that. So there you go. Yeah, in
because
addition
you don't have to have a hurricane. There's places in Texas that have gotten flooded or along the coast just because of rains that come in from some weather thing.
Yeah.
And you're going through 2 feet of water.
Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to, but, there are people out there that will do that.
Yeah.
And then they flood out, and there they sit.
So I saw that story and I thought, well, Linda will get a kick out of that. And it's crazy.
What is it that puts? Is there a foam or a chemical, or is there, or did they? I remember a long time ago when they first came out and then they started fire. There wasn't anything they could do but let it burn because nothing would put out the flames.
Yeah, here this gentleman that's part of the story had put out a video of firefighters in Naples battling a fire started from a Tesla's EV battery. So this is Tesla. A bystander is overheard in the video saying the crew had used hundreds of gallons of water attempting to put the fire out. The hurricane pummeled cities along Florida's west coast, including Naples and Fort Myers. The hurricane caused more than 100 deaths and over 1 million residents lost power. It's unclear how many EVs were impacted or destroyed by the storm. It has to. There's a special training and a special set of products that the firefighters have to have in order to be able to properly handle putting out an electric vehicle fire as opposed to a conventional. I mean, when cars became more prevalent and you had gas engines running around and diesel engines, okay, firefighters had to learn and train and get all the stuff they need to put those out. Now we're being told those are passé, can't drive those anymore. We've got to shift all the way to the electric stuff. And I don't know that that the firefighters across the country are fully equipped. I mean, some are working in that direction because there's a percentage.
They're going to have to.
Yeah, they're going to have to. But it's like a typical government mandate. How much government money that we don't have. I mean, think of all the billions and trillions of dollars we sent to Ukraine.
Oh, and I'm sure we're not done yet.
Yeah, maybe we should have sent that to the firefighters so that they could buy all the equipment and the foam and everything they need and get the training they need to be able to put out the fires in the electric vehicles that they're making us all have to buy.
Well, I want to know what all the railroad was doing last night after 11 o'clock.
You didn't hear us on Tuesday, did you, and Wednesday?
I know. So obviously the intersection or whatever must be open and the tracks are done, completed.
Is it? They were supposed to have it done by yesterday afternoon, but I hadn't checked to see if it's open yet.
As far as I know, there was still a whole bunch of lights and vehicles there.
Because of the rain,
So,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
No,
was
they're
trying
replacing
to
all
sleep,
the
and it
signaling
sounded
stuff.
like all of the cars were being derailed or
Yeah,
something. I
ooh.
mean, the noise. I'm
Yeah.
sure they were backing up, smashing to connect other cars to each other.
Yeah.
But really, there are people that want to sleep.
Yeah, but they got to get it done. They got to
Well,
get that
that's too
intersection
bad.
open.
Yeah.
They got to get that intersection
Well,
open.
I'm sure the trains weren't blocking the intersection, but now that they're able to do stuff, they were working to make up for the time that they lost making all this racket in the middle of the day.
Well, they got to get it fixed. Mm-hmm. They got to get it fixed. Yeah, they
Yeah,
shut
all
it down.
of the crossings are in bad shape right now. I mean, the roads are, really
Yep, and unfortunately,
not so hot.
That's right. That's right. So hopefully they won't wake you up anymore. Hopefully it's done today.
Well, there's sure is a lot of cracks in my house, and since there's been more rail traffic,
Yeah.
and when I can sit there and watch television and hear my windows rattling, it's from the vibration
I
of the
love
ground.
trains. That doesn't bother
I do
me.
too.
I love
but
trains.
I don't want my house cracking up and constant repairs because of it.
Yeah.
You're far enough away, you don't feel it.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I
I'm
used to,
close.
when I lived in Mississippi, we used to live right next to the tracks.
How in the world did you stand it?
We loved it. We loved it. Now we
Okay.
were on the main line. We were on the Illinois Central main line.
Mm-hmm.
The city of New Orleans went by twice a day. Circus trains would go by, freight trains, and all that kind of stuff. But it was a little ways away and down in a ravine. So we heard some of the noise, but not a lot of the noise. And we weren't near any crossings,
Oh, yeah.
so we didn't have the horns
ding,
going
ding,
from
ding,
the
yeah.
from the crossings. But oh yeah, we loved. We'd hear that little rumble of that train going by, and we think, okay, that's cool. Sometimes I'd just go out and sit and watch the trains go by.
Well, you
I
were
like
obviously
trains.
far. Well, I do too. But
My grandfather worked for the railroad. My father-in-law worked for the railroad up in the Midwest. So, yeah, I like trains.
the
So that
old-fashioned-
doesn't bother me. I'll sit in the backyard sometimes and I'll hear a train whistle
Oh,
or
yeah, if
something
the
like
wind
that.
is in the right direction.
Yeah.
Sometimes if the wind is in the right direction, it sounds like it's coming through my living room.
Yeah.
I mean, and then other times I can't hear it because the wind is in the other direction,
Yeah.
which is very strange. But
Well, Linda,
yes,
we need to conclude. Is there anything else you'd like to mention for
I think
today?
that was enough trash for one day. But
So again, Carlsbad got the golden tire.
Golden tire.
Okay.
I have no idea what it looks like. I know that Forrest is supposed to be fixing it. I got all the trophies and took them over from the school kids, the 6th and 7th grade art classes here. And the imagination in those was amazing.
So
We only needed 5. They made bunches of them, and the art teacher told him, she says, because the kids asked, which 5 are you taking? She says, I'm taking them all because I'm not making this hard decision. And the same thing happened when I took them. She says, how am I going to? I said, I don't know how you're
Yeah.
going to, but if you have any leftovers, I want them back, so we'll enter them in the recycled art show.
very good.
So-
Linda, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'd offer you something from McDonald's, but the soccer kids ate it all today.
That's okay.
I think it's great. So,
Yes.
all
No
right.
waste.
That's right. All right. Thanks, Linda.
You're welcome.
We'll get the